They have plenty of space and time to sort themselves out before they get to the first turn. So a very, very open, fair start for these runners here. They're up on the line.
The definition of cross country: running across fields or countryside, as opposed to running on roads or tracks. People say cross country is one of the hardest sports. There's no breaks, no timeouts, no halftime, no stopping. People often consider running as other sports' punishment. It's both physically and mentally tough. People often ask us, why would you want to go through that pain? Because this team has passion, dedication, and know how to work well as a team. This is the story of one of the most unforgettable seasons.
I decided to become a teacher after working at Roche Diagnostics for 3 years, and I went back to get my teaching degree. My old coach at Mount Vernon, Bruce Kendall, asked me if I wanted to come assist and help out with his team, and I did, and that was back in 2003. Then I got the job here at Fishers in 2006.
Our track team in 4th grade, it was the sport that got me into running because it was the only sport that was even offered in elementary school. So right away I just wanted to do something athletic with my friends, so I just decided to do 4th grade track, and the rest is history.
What got me into running was my dad and I would do 5Ks when we were younger, or when I was younger. And, it just kind of went from there as like, oh, I can beat my dad, now let's see who else I can beat. And then that got me into, like an organized running group.
Well, I've been friends with Ethan and Alex Myers since intermediate, and I didn't run freshman year, at least cross country, but once I saw a lot of my friends do it, I kind of wanted to join in, and it just became a passion from there.
I needed a sport. I did soccer when I was really little, in elementary, and my parents were like, if you're gonna be at school, you're gonna have a sport. And I was like, all right, sweet, so I'm gonna pick cross country.
With many members of the team coming from different running starts, we all had to learn from each other and work well together to achieve our goals.
Well, first off, I think you have to have trust in all your teammates and move towards one common goal, whether that's making state or top 5 in state, winning state, and you everyone has to buy in no matter what.
Well, you gotta have people that are committed, that run over the weekends, take it really serious, do what the coach says, eat pasta before the meets, and just bond as a team so you guys are in this together.
I think a good team is made up of, guys who have a really smart, running background, and they're also, they're selfless, they work for the team, and I think once you say, okay, I'm going to commit myself to being a good teammate, that's when the team can, flourish as a group.
A good cross-country team, you just need a good culture from the get-go, which is what Warnke implemented, and he puts the team over individuals, which as a cross-country sport, you need 5 guys to score, and if you don't have 5, then you won't win. So having that mindset, team over individuals, I think was a huge part.
Yeah, I think just having a lot of guys who really care about just getting better at practice is important.
With knowing what goes into making a good team, the Fishers Tigers cross country was ready to achieve big goals for the 2018 season. Most of the guys will say that this season went great, even with losing important runners to injuries and poor race conditions towards the start of the season.
Pretty good. Considering we lost our number 2 runner to a stress fracture and we still finished 3rd in the state, only 14 points out of first place. I thought it went pretty well.
Well, it started off well, but we knew we had more in store because we were just ramping up training, getting ourselves ready for the postseason and stuff. And the first couple of meets were really hot, so we didn't run necessarily fast times, but our potential was showing in our races and how we fared against other big schools like Carmel and other schools like that. And then once like Peoria hit, we really all ran pretty well because like the weather was good and it was just like good conditions for running.
I think it went pretty well, like overall. I think a lot of guys improved. I mean, we had some tough weather, some meets, but overall, I think it was a good season for everybody.
Yeah, the times didn't show a lot of improvement from some people. For some they did, some they didn't, just because of the weather was up and down all year. But our team accomplished many of our goals that we set forth, and we won a ton of huge meets that we haven't in years past. So that was a good step in the right direction.
With the 2018 season starting off well, during the peak of racing, the team lost a big person who contributes well for the team to a stress fracture, Will Clark.
Definitely. Kind of like what Jalen said in that interview before, we had to have some people step up, and it was pretty unexpected because Will's last race was Peoria, and our team was really hitting like stride around that time, so we didn't really have any like negative thoughts. It was all positive, and our team was moving in the right direction. But Drew definitely stepped up a lot into our number 3 spot, and Dylan stepped up as well, which really helped our confidence and not dwelling on the fact that we lost one of the best runners in the state.
Our like second runner, Will, him getting injured really like affected the chances of that, but Drew took he made a big step.
Will Clark went down with his stress fracture. I think they came together really well because that happened, in mid-September. So it was a big blow, but they came together and still had a fantastic season.
For sure, Will Clark's stress fracture, I mean, that was huge. He was one of our top 3 guys in the second week of September, which is a key part of the season. Then he goes down, and it just caused people to step up.
First reaction when I got hurt was probably, it was more sadness and anger, honestly, just because I knew that we had a chance to do something like really good or really big and win state for the first time since 2007. So I was just kind of sad that I couldn't be there with my teammates and try and fulfill that goal.
With Will out of the postseason, the varsity had another problem. They had never raced in sectionals at Pendleton Heights, regional at Delta, or semi-state at New Haven. In past years, the varsity would have raced sectional and regional at White River Elementary and semi-state at Shelbyville. With a new path to state, the varsity would have to run new courses and race different teams.
I think no matter where we went, we were going to go and win. Definitely, I think, for me, it was like, okay, you kind of have to you get what you get, and you can't do anything about it. But I think it was definitely kind of, looking back, I think it would have been helpful to be in the semi-state and regional that we were last year, just because, getting to race the top 3 teams in state for 2 meets leading up to the big one, it's kind of like you were forged by fire, and you knew like exactly what you needed to do and what everyone else looked like.
No, I don't think that was a major problem. It was just a matter, it's the same thing as always, it's just a different color team. So
do you think winning those races, since you've never won them before, gave you an extra boost of confidence?
Winning in general, yeah, will give you a boost of confidence. So, absolutely. Yeah.
Different path?
Yeah.
No. It is what it is. I don't care who. You just tell us where we need to run, and we'll be there, and we'll run, and we'll be the best we can be.
With the new path to state, the varsity raced well and won sectionals for the first time since 2007, won regionals for the 3rd time in school history, and won semi-state to make their way to Laverne Gibson.
All right, good afternoon again, cross-country fans. Welcome to the 2018 IHSAA State Championships being held here at the Laverne Gibson Championship Cross Country Course in Cross Country Town, USA, Terre Haute, Indiana.
Yeah, we expected to win. I don't know, we had that expectation for ourselves the whole season, was that, I think if we didn't win, the season was kind of for nothing.
For me, it wasn't my best race. There were a lot of factors that went into it, but the course is a little muddy. I think everyone was a little slow, and it's just everyone was a little off, but got through it.
I think it went pretty well for the most part. I think, there's some things you can't control, and you can't control what other teams are going to do. And so I think pretty much like we had a lead with 3K to go, and I mean, that's the position you'd want to put yourself in. And I think pretty much, I mean, you know, Carmel always finishes well in those races, so I think it went like pretty well for us. I mean, obviously, if you ran that race 100 times, like it would be different probably every single time with the team score, but I think it went overall well.
And let's just start with the teams that we expect to be in the mix to win today. Moving up to the New Haven Semi-State Fishers, a team's been running very well all season, has been really doing well in October. They're very confident. They have not lost a race now for several weeks. Ethan Meyer ran a very good race up front. Alex Meyer, Drew Smith. I mean, they're a really strong team. If they can get their 4-5 in with the strength of their top three, I think they definitely have a shot to win.
With the last race of the season, the varsity had one last chance to achieve the team goal.
To win state.
What was to win state?
It's definitely to win state.
Definitely to win state as a team.
Trying to win state.
Take a run at trying to be on the podium at state.
They have plenty of space and time to sort themselves out before they get to the first turn. So a very, very open, fair start for these runners here. They're up on the line.
You know, we knew that going in it was going to be really close with Carmel and Cathedral. And looking back, I wish kind of we would have anticipated what Carmel did, because they do the same thing every year, which is at like the mile marker, they, you know, surge as a group. And we didn't really, I think, deal with that well. And I think, you know, I remember distinctly seeing Dylan running and just slowly fading back. And I don't think really anyone picked up the slack in those points that we needed. So I think, you know, coming down the finish, I think as a team I was like, this isn't good. Just because Dylan, who's going to be, I think, a scorer, had fallen behind and I had passed him, and it was just like, you know, now we're fighting even harder for the spots that we need.
Yeah, so like pretty much because when you finish, you're kind of just in that little like waiting area, and it was actually kind of tough because I saw a bunch of Carmel guys, so I knew it was gonna be close between us. I didn't know what jersey Cathedral was wearing because they I think wore new ones that day, but I don't know. For the most part, I didn't see anything that like showed me that like we like easily would have won or anything like that. So it was just kind of, it's always stressful, like kind of just watching that.
Yeah, it was just up in the air because I finished right next to Drew Smith. He was right behind me, so I knew I had some confidence that we won just because we had our three right there with me, and I felt like I had a pretty decent race that day. But then I just saw like a ton of mix of Carmel and Fishers and Cathedral across the line, so I was pretty nervous after. It wasn't, like Ethan said, it wasn't like, it didn't pop into my mind that we won right away because it was so close.
Presenting the third place medals, Mr. Jim Brown of Fishers High School and the IHSAA Executive Committee. Your third place team, Fishers High School.
I was pretty disappointed just because all year we were looking forward to that day, trying to race the best that we can as a team. We raced pretty well. Not as well as we could have, but like Ethan said, you can run that race 100 times and it'd be a different result every time.
And yeah, I think for me, I think at first I was just a little bit disappointed, but then I think after like a few minutes, just, you know, you got to realize like everything that like really like took place like over the last 4 years, and like, you know, you don't want to like ruin this moment just for like, you know, one like, you know, sort of like okay result, but you know, still got third in the state as a team, which is, you know, a huge accomplishment. So,
with Fishers finishing third at state, most of the team was disappointed with the outcome. But we can learn from this race, and the team will be more prepared for next year. Overall, the team had a great year, with winning the Zionsville Invite, getting second at the Hamilton County race, winning the HCC race, winning sectionals, getting first at regionals, winning semi-state, and finally ending the season with a third-place finish at state. With the seniors moving on, the team will get new runners and the process will start all over again, with summer training, working with a new team, and having to learn from each other. But one thing will stay the same about this program, which is pushing everyone to be the best that they can be to achieve big accomplishments.